Hi there, I'm Paul. I'm one of the many scientists behind the scenes here at the Natural History Museum. I'd like to welcome you to our dinosaur store, where I'm going to be showing you some amazing fossils of a little turtle called Kallikobotian. So, here's Kallikobotian, this little turtle which was named by Franz Nopsca in 1923 in honour of his partner Doda Bajazid. And you can see here a rather nice shell. It's been a little bit crushed by the process of fossilisation, but we also see a little skull and some limb bones. And actually in our collections we have lots of other specimens of Kallikobotian which taken together give a pretty good picture of what this turtle would have looked like when it was alive. And new fossils have been found since in Romania that back up these finds and add even more detail. At the time the Kallikobotian was alive, about 68 million years ago, the world was quite different. And what's now Romania, where the fossils are from, was actually a series of islands set in a subtropical sea, rather like some of the tropical islands that we see in Southeast Asia today. This island was inhabited by a number of different animals and plants, including dinosaurs, flying reptiles, crocodiles, mammals, and many other smaller animals that were living around creating this entire ecosystem. The island on which Kallikobotian lived is called Hatzeg Island, and it was rather unusual. Because it was an island, a lot of the large animals that lived there had actually dwarfed in size and were much smaller than their relatives on larger land masses elsewhere. We don't know too much about the lifestyle of Kallikobotian, unfortunately. We think that it was a semi-aquatic turtle that was spending some of its time in water, but probably not all of its time. It's certainly not a specialist sea turtle or pond turtle. And we think that it might have had a mixed diet of different kinds of small animals and also plants, what we call an omnivore. So probably fairly generalist. It's also interesting in a different way, which is that it's actually itself an evolutionary relic. It turns out that Kallikobotian is actually one of the more primitive turtles that we know about. It lies outside of the group of modern turtles that we're familiar with today. It's a close relative, but it's not within that group. And that group itself predates Kallikobotian. This is actually would have been in the Cretaceous, a living fossil. So quite an interesting little animal to deal with in terms of looking at turtle evolutionary history overall, as well as telling us something much more interesting about the social history of Nopsca and the life and times he lived in.